The sun burned low over the red dust plains. The air smelled of rot and heat. Nothing moved except flies. She lay near the broken wall of an old shelter. Her body was thin like dry branches. Her skin was dull and cracked. Flies crawled over her face and eyes. She was too weak to push them away. She was once a wife. She was once respected. But now she was nothing. Her mate had died seasons ago in a factory collapse. No one paid for his death. No one cared. After that, her clan stopped looking at her. Food came less and less. Help never came when her child got sick. She begged. She begged elders, guards, traders. They all turned away. The child died in her arms under the same burning sky. That was the moment she was marked. A burden, a failure, a waste of food. Now she lay alone, starving, ignored, waiting for death. People walked past her every day. Some covered their noses, some laughed, some said she deserved it. No one stopped. Flies buzzed louder as her breath grew weak. Her eyes stayed half open. She watched the sky change color. She wondered if death would hurt. She remembered stories from long ago. Stories about mercy, stories about kindness. But those stories did not live on this world. Her stomach twisted in pain. Hunger burned worse than the sun. She had not eaten in 2 days. Water was gone. Her hands shook as she tried to move. Her body refused. The flies returned again. A shadow suddenly fell across her face. The flies scattered for a moment. Her eyes focused slowly. Boots stood near her head. Heavy boots, not alien boots. Different. She thought it was a dream or death playing tricks on her mind. The figure did not move away. Instead, it stepped closer. The shadow grew larger. Slowly, she lifted her eyes. A tall shape stood there. Covered in worn clothing, a face hidden by dust and travel marks. It was a human. Humans were rare on this world. They were known as strange, too soft, too emotional. The woman tried to speak, but no sound came out. Her throat burned. The human looked down at her. He did not turn away. He did not laugh. He did not step back. His eyes met hers, and for the first time in days, she felt seen. Around them, others noticed. Aliens stopped walking. Whispers spread. Why is he stopping? Why does he care? The human lowered himself to one knee. Dust rose around him. He looked tired, hungry, thin. He opened the small bag at his side, slowly, carefully. The woman's heart beat faster. Fear mixed with hope. Hope hurt more than hunger. People nearby shook their heads. Some mocked, some warned him. She closed her eyes, expecting him to walk away, just like all the others. But he did not. The human paused. His hands stayed inside the bag, as if he was thinking, as if this choice mattered. The flies returned again. The sun burned hotter. Then the human took something out, and everything was about to change. The human stood there for a long moment. The heat pressed down on his shoulders. Dust clung to his boots. Inside the small bag at his side was his only meal, a simple ration, dry food, enough to keep him alive for the night. He had worked all day hauling scrap between settlements. Payment was small. Food was costly on this world. He was hungry too. The alien woman watched him with weak eyes. She did not beg. She had no strength left. Her chest rose and fell slowly. The human looked around. Aliens stared openly now. Some laughed quietly. Some shook their heads. She is dying, someone said. Do not waste food, another voice warned. She is nothing. The human heard them, but he did not answer. He remembered Earth, long roads, empty nights. Times when kindness came from strangers. His hand tightened inside the bag. This choice was not easy. Hunger made every thought sharp. He knelt down slowly beside her. The ground burned his knee through thin fabric. Flies buzzed closer again. Without thinking, he waved his hand, pushing the flies away from her face. The crowd grew quiet. This was not normal. No one touched the abandoned. The woman flinched at his movement. Fear lived deep inside her now. She expected pain. But pain did not come. The human pulled out the food ration, wrapped in thin foil, old and worn. Gasps spread through the onlookers. Some laughed louder. Others looked shocked. He is mad. He will starve. The human ignored them. He tore the wrap open. The smell of food spread in the hot air. The woman's eyes widened. Her body reacted before her mind. Her hand twitched weakly. He broke the food into smaller pieces, careful, slow, as if feeding a child. He held it close to her mouth. "Eat," he said softly. His voice calm. She hesitated. Her pride screamed inside her. Her hunger screamed louder. Slowly, she opened her mouth. Her teeth shook. Her hands trembled. The first bite made her cry. Tears rolled down her dirty face. Mixing with dust and sweat, the human stayed still. He did not rush her. He did not look away. People around them shifted uncomfortably. Some felt shame. Others felt anger. She ate slowly. Every bite hurt and healed at the same time. Her body woke up again. When the food was gone, the human reached for his water flask. He had little left. He tipped it gently to her lips, just enough, not too fast. Water ran down her chin. She gasped softly. Life returned to her eyes. The human leaned back. His stomach burned, but his face stayed calm. "You did not have to do that." Someone said, "You gained nothing." The human stood up, dust falling from his clothes. "I gained sleep," he replied. That confused them. The woman looked at him, really looked this time. A stranger, a human. No one had given her anything since her mate died. No one had touched her without cruelty. She tried to speak again. A sound finally escaped her throat. "Why?" she whispered. The human paused, then answered simply, "Because you were hungry, unseen by them both." A small device blinked from a nearby rooftop, recording everything and far above the planet. Something ancient began to pay attention. The human walked away from the broken shelter slowly. His steps were heavy. Hunger pulled at his body behind him. The alien woman struggled to sit up. Her strength was still weak. But the food had lit something inside her. Eyes followed the human everywhere. Whispers grew louder. Laughter followed him through the dust, that human-fed trash. Someone mocked. "Humans are foolish," another said. "They give even when they have nothing." The human kept moving. He did not answer. He had heard worse before. The woman tried to stand. Her legs failed her. She fell back into the dirt. A few aliens watched closely, waiting for her to die anyway, waiting to be proven right. She pushed herself up again. Pain shot through her body. But she stayed upright this time. Her eyes searched for the human. He was already far. A lone figure against the heat. She followed, slow steps. Dragging feet, people noticed. Some laughed harder. She thinks she matters now. The human sensed movement behind him. He turned, saw her standing there. For a moment, he looked surprised. Then concerned. "You should rest," he said quietly. "You are not strong yet." "I will die if I stay," she answered softly, her voice thin but steady. The human studied her face, not her species, not her status, just her fear. He nodded once, then walked slow. He said that simple choice angered many. Aliens stepped into his path. "You shame us," one said. "You help weakness." The human stood still, hands empty, back straight. "She is alive," he said. "That is enough." The crowd did not like that answer. Voices rose, insults flew. Humans pretend to be kind, but they break easily. The woman flinched at every word. Old wounds reopened. Shame burned again. The human noticed. He stepped closer to her, blocking the worst of the crowd. That act changed the mood. Mockery turned into anger. Someone threw a stone. It hit the ground near them. Guards arrived soon after, armor shining, weapons ready. The crowd stepped back quickly. Fear replaced laughter. The guards did not look at the human. Their eyes stayed on the woman. She froze. Her past caught up to her. The human felt her fear. He moved in front of her without thinking. "She did nothing wrong," he said, his voice calm but firm. The guards paused. This was unexpected. "She was abandoned." One guard replied, "That is not our problem." "She is now," the human answered. Silence spread. Even the flies seemed to disappear. The guards studied the human, then the woman, then something on their wrist screens. "Symbols, warnings," she whispered. "They found me." The human looked at her. "What do you mean?" he asked. Before she could answer, a deep sound rolled across the sky. Shadows moved overhead. Large, powerful ships, not traders, not guards, something else had arrived. And whatever was coming, it was not for mercy alone. The ground trembled under their feet. A deep sound rolled through the air. Heavy and powerful, people looked up together. Fear replaced anger. The sky darkened as a massive ship passed overhead. It was not a trader ship. It was not a guard patrol. Its shape was ancient. Marked with symbols few recognized, the woman's body stiffened. Her breath caught. Her eyes filled with terror. The human felt it immediately. Her fear was different now. Not weak, not hopeless, but knowing. The guards straightened. Their voices lowered. Their confidence faded. The ship landed outside the settlement. Dust exploded into the air. Engines roared, then went silent. A long ramp lowered slowly. Every second stretched painfully. The woman whispered, "They should not have found me." The human turned toward her. "What are you saying?" he asked. She shook her head. Tears returned to her eyes. "I was meant to disappear." Figures stepped down the ramp. Tall, armored. Their presence heavy. Crowds fell back. Gasps rippled through the crowd. "No one had ever seen this before, my lady," the figure said. Voice low, respect clear. The woman froze. Her mind raced. Old lessons burned into memory. "I am not that anymore," she whispered. "You were never stripped of it," the figure replied. The crowd stirred. Whispers turned into panic. The human stepped closer to her. "What does this mean?" he asked quietly. The woman closed her eyes.